Hey, it's Chuck Carstensen team, Remax Results, going live for the second time in my new podcast series, which is basically the Real Life Impact Podcast that if you're just joining me, tuning in, watching the live video, you can find, for example, on Apple Podcasts, Real Life Impact Podcast. You search it and find it, and please subscribe if you do. So last time, almost probably a couple of weeks ago, I talked about why I'm doing the 75 hard. I think that's a good one to listen to. It's about 10 minutes of why I'm doing that. And one of the main reasons was to increase my mental toughness, because going forward, the economy's changing. There's people out there struggling, and I want to be somebody who can be of service, of help, not only in my business, but also help people around me, near to me, that may need a boost, may need to be uplifted. And I'm sure you're somebody who would like to do that as well. But if you're on the other end of the spectrum, somebody who needs uplifting, that's fine too. So today, and then I want to do more and more of these podcasts, these 5-10 minute little nuggets to help people, because I think we're entering a tough time for people in the near future, even that we've had a tough time with COVID for 2 years, a different tough time coming from that. And more people are struggling, whether it's mental health or business or increased debt or whatever might be a struggle for somebody. I want to help them the way I can. And this is one of the ways I can do that. So today's topic, making yourself more employable. And maybe you've thought it out before, maybe you haven't thought about that before. I've been thinking about it a lot for myself. Obviously, Carstensen team, Remax Results, if you follow us, watch the post, you're like, hey, aren't you the number one team or something in Minnesota, Wisconsin? Yeah, number one small team. There's like individual agents or small teams, medium teams, large teams. So we're in that grouping. And you might think, well, do you need to be more employable? Yes, the market's shifting. And when anything shifts in your business and your operations and what you do, you have to make the adjustment quickly. So me, somebody who's always doing my best, doing the most I can, I am continuing to look at the way to make myself more employable, where more people, buyers, sellers, want to work with my team and myself, and feel confident in doing that. So what's one of the ways to make yourself more employable? Well, one of the things I do, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I do some reading. I used to do a lot of reading. Obviously, I used to go to a lot of seminars, trainings, events. Not that I never will do that again. I just haven't done the flying away, going to seminars for a couple of years, probably because of COVID. And then with how, the busyness of life, I've adjusted to a lot of podcasts. While I'm driving around helping buyers or sellers in a wide area, put on the podcast to make sure I stay on top of what's going on, meaning I'm educating myself. So in your field, you want to become an expert, you need to spend about an hour a day educating yourself. An hour a day, 5+ days a week, will make you an expert in any field in about 5 years. So, I mean, if you did 3 hours a day, which maybe you have time for, probably not, you could be an expert in a year and a half, right? But education can help make you more employable, more of an expert. And one of the questions might be like, why would I need to be more employable? You might not. In your business, it might be fine. But for a lot of people, they're going to need it. If you have a lot of debt, you just need to be more employable. You need to find ways to earn more money and stop spending as much money and not have as much debt going forward. Or maybe you got the debt under control, just don't have enough to invest. You want to become an investor. First, you have to be somebody who's very employable and does well or above average or even great or excellent at what they do, which again goes back to growth, education, doing a little bit more. Like in real estate, we run our numbers on how many people we might have to meet with, might have to list a certain amount of properties to have the results we wanted. In the last 2 years, we could probably meet with a few less people if you're working mostly listings. If you're market buyers, you might have to meet with a few more people to make the numbers work of reaching your goals. So making yourself more employable is step number one, is educating yourself. And again, the reason you might do it would be to help pay off debt, help earn money to invest, help get you the job you want. Some people, and you should do this, are not working in what they want to do, but at least you're working. there's some people who stepped out of the market force, and maybe it's worked out fine for those people, but even that some places will be laying off people in the next few months, or they already are, there's still a lot of people hiring. You might have to do what you don't like to do to still be doing all right, doing fine, keep your family going, keep your life going, but you make yourself more employable so you can get to where you're able to do what you want to do after that. So don't sit on the sidelines. One of the biggest challenges, and why, if there is a recession coming, which there probably is, and if you watch the stock market and things like that, one's likely coming. One of the biggest challenges, because too many people are on the sideline not producing, and that makes it tougher. The people are producing, and if you are somebody who hasn't been, putting in at least a really good effort, just in general, being employed, you're going to have to get back and be employable. You're going to likely, many of you have to do something you don't like to do, but then you continue to work on making yourself more employable so you get to do what you like to do. And that's why I'm putting this quick podcast out there, because some people are like, I'm not going to do what I don't like to do. If you're in a spot where you don't have to do what you don't like to do, great. But most people are not. I just know this. So suck it up is what I'm telling you. And there's many, many other ideas why you'd want to make yourself more employable. You got to think of that for yourself. Obviously, somebody like me, we've done well over the years, but it took consistency over time. So I don't really want to default back to not as great of a business, of a lifestyle. So I have to keep making myself more employable, or somebody else will. It's simple as that. There's other people doing this. So if you do the same thing and expect the same results, it's not going to be the same results. That's the challenge of life, because it makes it a little tougher on us than we probably like. But also that's a challenge in a good way, because it helps make us better. So making yourself more employable, number one thing, educate yourself. Other things, you come up with the idea why you would have to make yourself more employable. I know that real estate is going to hit a market shift. We're already in it. So I have to make myself more employable, because the people that don't, they're going bye-bye or not going to do as well. And somebody who makes themselves more employable, I'm already an expert, but I have to be the clear-cut expert, because not everybody knows who the clear-cut expert is. So I have to continue to make myself more employable. So I'm encouraging you to do what I'm doing, working on, already done. And if I'm doing it, even that I have a top small team and a top team and a top real estate brokerage, I've done this for years, and I'm saying I'm doing it, probably means many, many people also need to go out and do this as well if they want the life they want to live. So thanks for watching. We'll have new topics. Some will be really geared towards real estate. Some will be totally not even geared towards real estate at all. And my outcome for this is to help as many people I can, give them a little boost, at least plant the seed, a thought that might get you moving in the right direction. Take care. God bless.